Deep within a primeval jungle, cannibals hunted unsuspecting travelers. Anyone who set foot on their land would eventually become their dinner. One day, a lumberjack was working in the rainforest when he stumbled upon the corpse of a colleague. Terrified, he turned to flee, but triggered a trap and was hoisted into the air by a vine. Moments later, a cannibal approached him. Not long after, two couples planned a rafting trip in the jungle. They hired a professional guide who warned them as they admired the scenery. This forest is home to cannibals who prey on humans. Years earlier, logging and mining had driven the cannibals deeper into the forest. Now, their territory was officially protected by the government. As long as no one entered the restricted zone, there was said to be no danger. Meanwhile, a pair of adventure bloggers arrived on off-road motorcycles. Seeing a no-entry sign only fueled their curiosity. On livestream, they declared their intention to conquer the jungle and rushed in. During the ride, the woman fell and the man was tripped up. When she stood, she saw his body severed by taut wires strung across the path. Panicked, she abandoned the bike and hid in a cave. With no phone signal and sensing her death was near, she recorded a farewell message. Suddenly, the man's decapitated head rolled to her feet. Elsewhere, the rafting group lit a campfire. The guide told them of a lumberjack who had recently strayed too close to cannibal territory. His hamstrings had been cut to train young warriors in hunting. Without refrigeration, the tribe hacked off a victim's limbs, ate them, and kept the rest alive for later. The tourists dismissed it as a scary campfire story and climbed into their hammocks for the night. Later, Jesse went to the restroom and was suddenly silenced by Alan, who pressed a hand over her mouth. Jesse teased him, reminding Alan that his wife, Maya, was nearby, yet here he was, trying to flirt. Alan confessed he wanted to leave the company he co-founded with Richie. Maya's father was about to retire, and Alan planned to inherit his business while maintaining a secret affair with Jesse. Furious, Jesse stormed off. Unbeknownst to them, both Richie and Maya had overheard everything. The next morning, Richie disappeared along with a kayak. The group paddled out to search and found his boat, but not his phone. To find him, they would have to enter the deep jungle, but the guide refused, reminding them it was cannibal land. Reluctantly, the others pressed on alone. The guide promised to wait an hour before leaving. As the three searched, the guide heard noises nearby. Following the sound into the forest, he stumbled into a clearing where belongings of past victims hung in the trees, including his grandfather's hat. Too late, he realized cannibals were behind him. He bolted toward the kayaks, only to find no sign of them. Meanwhile, the others discovered Richie alive in a cave. Reunited, the four prepared to return. On the way, Richie exposed Alan's betrayal. Alan had no defense, but when they reached the riverbank, their food, water, and the guide were gone. A blood-stained kayak revealed the truth. Searching nearby, they found a boiling pot of stew, and inside it, the guide's face. Horrified, they grabbed their kayaks and fled, unaware that the cannibals were already on their trail. Soon, a fallen tree blocked the river. As they dragged their kayaks across, the cannibals ambushed. Alan wrestled with one attacker while Jesse crushed his skull with a rock. The warrior fell into the water but leapt out again, only to be stabbed by Alan's knife. Another cannibal on the bank witnessed this and devoured his comrade's heart raw. The kayaks drifted away, forcing the group to chase on foot. That night, tensions flared as Alan accused Richie of sneaking off and causing their troubles. They argued bitterly. Exhausted, they rested in shifts. When Richie kept watch, Maya comforted him. Later, as Alan stood guard, he smeared himself with mud and hid in the earth. Cannibals launched a midnight raid. Alan ambushed one from behind but was quickly overpowered and knocked unconscious with an axe. As they dragged him away, Richie tried to strangle a cannibal but was bitten on the arm. Alan rolled down a slope in a daze, dreaming of Jesse pregnant with his child while Maya stood by. When he awoke, Alan located the captured Richie but chose not to save him. He simply said he would protect Maya and Jesse, then left. Richie's hamstrings were cut, and when he tried to escape, a cannibal child shoved him onto a blade, killing him. The next day, Alan lied to the others, claiming Richie had gone to find help. The three pressed forward, only to be ambushed again. Jesse fell into a pit of sharpened stakes. Alan tied a vine around Maya, lowered her down, and together they pulled Jesse out. After leaping from a waterfall, they recovered a kayak and continued downstream. Alan sensed they were being followed. He set up a phone to play a looping video, luring the cannibals away. He then tried to ambush them with a dagger, but was caught. His wrist was seized, and the blade thrown aside. The cannibals strung him up by a vine, preparing to capture the women. Struggling, Alan grabbed the knife from a tree, cut himself free, and hurled it into one cannibal's back. The warrior plunged into the water, dragging Alan into a desperate fight. As he nearly drowned, Alan thought of Richie. With a final surge of strength, he seized a machete and slit the cannibal's throat. Alan urged the women to flee, but when he saw a horde of cannibals charging, he stayed behind to fight them off, buying time. Jesse and Maya continued rafting, climbed a cliff, and reached a roadside. They stopped a passing car and escaped at last.